Okay, we've seen the video and we've already started.
Great, terrific, excellent. Okay, so a little bit of housekeeping. I spoke to Nolan Bushnell yesterday night. Just got back from Dubai. He's going to be going. He's heading to Chicago. We're making arrangements for him to come to the LA campus. It will happen.
Okay.
Just not sure when. He said Dubai is kind of like a low-class version of Las Vegas. One person got it. Okay. So, but he said it was hot and it's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out that in California, the CEO of Salesforce.com is doing something at one of the prisons, I think San Quentin. Joe, do you know anything about that?
Yeah.
Monica, do you still have your paper about that? Okay, because we're going to need you to send that to Nolan Bushnell. The guy who is the CEO of Salesforce.com used to work at Atari, and he dated Nolan's daughter. So Nolan says, I have no problem calling him. And I told him about the tablet. So could you share that with me again, whatever you've done, including the original news release that I sent you? And we will then go from there. Okay, so let's see, other housekeeping. So for people who are new, this place, this learning village is owned by Tony Hsieh, and there's particular rules. We have to keep it clean. We have to keep it clean. So don't, and you're only supposed to smoke in the smoking area. If anybody walks through here, you should assume that they work for Tony Hsieh, that they're part of the downtown project. And we like to get people hired through the downtown project. Mike McGurl here, who's a graduate of the school, got a job next door at the container park, and you seem to be happy. What would you like to say about your happiness? Huh?
Employment is a much happier place than unemployment.
Okay, and how is it working over in the container park?
It's going really well. Business is starting just to like trickle down just because when the heat gets out. It's an outside, mall, and when it's 100+ degrees, a lot of people don't want to be outside. But up until now, it's been really great. A lot of foot traffic.
Okay, and you're learning a lot.
Yep.
About the popcorn business.
Or just business in general.
Okay, good, good. So how you present yourself here is very important because you just never know. And Tony Hsieh kind of looks like Mike, right?
T-shirt and jeans, you never know. He's been in the park a couple of times. And you'd never know he was a multi-millionaire just walking through.
Yeah.
Tennis shoes, jeans, T-shirt, very unassuming.
Right. Low-key guy, right? He's not, hey, everybody, I'm here, look at me. He's just very down to earth. So the people he hires generally are the same way. So if you're smoking in an area that's not smoking, that's bad. We will get a call. Don't throw trash out. Don't pour your coffee out on the side of the building. If you see something on the ground that's garbage, just pick up the piece of trash and throw it away because it's very important. Our relationship with Downtown Project is very important to us. So please take that into consideration. And occasionally they do have events here. Haven't had any recently, but occasionally they do. And so we'll try to let you know about that. Okay, I think that's it for the housekeeping. Does anybody have any questions before we get started? Anybody? No? Nope, nope. Anybody questions in California?
No.
Okay. So what are we working on this week? Mindmap. And what is Mindmap? What is Mindmap?
Visual mind, visual map.
Yeah, it's a application. It's a mind mapping app. There's a lot of mind mapping apps and software out there. This is just one version. We like it because it integrates well with Google. It's free, and it's easy to learn, easy to use. It's probably like a Toyota, not a Ferrari. Okay, there's more sophisticated versions of mind mapping software, but this does 90% of what we need 100% of the time. So this is good. It's easy to use, and like anything else, this is if you don't use it, you will lose it. So I understand from Dennis, everybody in California has their mind maps done.
Yeah, they're working on them. Some are in the process. We started it. Some are in the process, and some haven't.
Okay. All right. So let's go back and review. How do we load Mindmap? How do we get it on our? How do we get it?
Okay.
Well, we go to the 9-square grid and do what?
You go to your web store.
Okay, so I would go to the 9-square colored grid on the bookmark bar, not the 9-square black grid on the right-hand side. And then, as Dennis said, you go to the Chrome Marketplace or whatever it's called, the store. And then you put in the box what? Mindmap. You put Mindmap in, and then what happens?
You have two versions.
Then you add it to your Chrome.
Exactly. Two versions come up, and you select which one?
Desktop.
Both of them. No, you select both.
Well, one is for your, if you have a device that's hooked up, and the other one is for your desktop.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So you select both of them, you download them, or you install them on your thing, and then you click on the smaller one, not the desktop version. Click on the smaller one, and the first time you do it, what comes up? Who remembers what comes up?
When you click it on, it'll ask you to add it to your Chrome.
The first time you load it.
The first time you load it, it'll give you the options of creating map, so forth.
Right. So a box pops up that has 4 choices.
Right.
Create, new, open a map.
Create, open a map.
Get in touch.
Get in touch, learn how to open a map, or create a new map.
Good. And what are we going to do today?
We're going to create a new map.
Exactly. We're going to create a new map, and what is that map for?
This map is going to be for calling or destiny, 3 to 5 companies that do that. The plan to get on the radar, following up, and then moving forward on that plan.
Right. Okay. So how many people here are not familiar with our proactive employment plan? PEP, proactive employment plan. How many people? Okay, 1, 2. Are you familiar with it? Okay, we talked about it before. Dwayne, no. Rachel, no. How about you, Julia? No. Okay. No. Okay. Morning, Keith. Okay, so at Larson, we treat people like adults. And along those lines, we don't feel it's a good idea to find you your job. What would 2 reasons be for that? What's one reason, Mike? Gotcha. What's one reason for us to not get you your job? Okay, that's one good reason. Yeah, it's your life. You should be accountable. What's another reason? How about it might not be the job you really want to do, right? That, who's the best person to judge what you should do should be you as an adult, not you as a kid. So we don't do that. However, we help make you aware of opportunities. But where we deviate from virtually every other school tries to get placement by placing people. They have a placement person, that person looks for jobs, and they say, you come with me, I've got a job for you. And those things work in the short run, but they don't usually work in the long run, because it's not really what the person wanted to do. They just wanted a job, just as something to pay the bill. It's not a good long-term strategy. So we do proactive employment plan, which is starting with what? Okay, Julia, you don't know. Monica, what's the first step? That's the second step. What's the first step? What you want to do, yeah. What would you want to do, and as Nolan Bushnell said, where you can't tell the difference between work and play, or work and fun, or work and non-work? What would you do that you like doing so much? The pay is just a bonus. You know, your mental aid's just a bonus. So you first of all figure out, what do you want to do? Okay, what do you want to do? So on our Mindmap, the first node, the primary node, the master node, I'm not sure what it's called, but that first node that starts out, that should be called, you should call that your proactive employment plan. Okay? So it should look like this. This is what your sheet should look like right now. Okay? Or you can shorten it to just PEP, Proactive Employment Plan. And what could the first node be? The first subnode. How do we create a subnode? How do we create a subnode? Tab. Okay, so we hit the tab key. Now, what could that one be called if we want to match it to our proactive employment plan? No, not company. Okay, so let's call it, let's put in there career, desired career.
Oh, this, yeah, he focused it. Yeah, yeah, he did it. Yeah, yeah, and that's how we had to do it yesterday. Right.
Desired career.
Pretty much focused on this one. He had to do it from there. Yeah. Ed.
Yeah.
Is there a way that you can focus like you did yesterday, so we can see the screen a little bit better? We're pretty much focused here on the projector here, and if we can make it, maybe enlarge it a little bit.
Okay. Well, let's see. I made everything else larger except what we wanted. Yeah, I do it on mine. Okay. Okay. Tell me when it's good enough.
Okay. Okay. Oh. Okay, it's kind of going to the side now. If you could bring it up. Okay. Can everybody see it? That's better. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Good, right there, Ed. Thank you.
Okay, so you should have this on your thing right now. Now there should be 2 subnodes off of that. So create a subnode. Oops, not off of that. So on desired career, have a subnode. One is called calling and destiny. Okay. Then in the calling, we want to put a note in there of what that means. How do we do that? How do we turn our screen to look like that? How do we do that?
In the little box to the right.
Hit the A. So when you have that node selected, hit your A key and it'll open up like a little notepad.
So you can only have one page inside of it, though? Can you have multiple pages?
No, but you can have links to pages.
Okay, I'm lost.
So click on the node that you want to put the note in. So I click on calling, and then I hit A, and a notepad shows up. So calling, and then you would type in a calling is a place where you work for free. Calling is a place that you'd work for free. And a destiny is what? Monica, what is a destiny? Okay, so a destiny is a place that you would pay to work. How do you go back? What do you mean back? Out of where?
Save. Okay, got it.
Okay, so your thing should now look like your master node, a node that says desired career, and then 2 subnodes that have paper clips.
What are we deleted?
Huh?
How do you delete that?
Delete what?
If you made a mistake.
You have an extra node.
I hit destiny first instead of calling. Click it and go down to.
Well, so if you have an extra node that you want to delete, destiny is a place that you'd pay to work. Well, you go back in there, you hit edit, and you just erase it like if it was a dog. A calling is a place you'd work for free. A destiny is a place you'd pay to work. Okay, what is the second step? Okay, so I just changed mine where it said desired career. I put a 1 in front of it. And then I want to have those nodes disappear. So how do I have those subnodes disappear, Tim? Yeah, so I click on desired career and I hit the F key and it has them go away. What's the second step on our proactive employment plan? Monica.
Don't press backspace.
Okay, so the second thing is to, number 2, find 3 to 5 employers
Pretty much is tab, enter, and space bar.
that do that. And I'm going to move it over to the other side of the screen, so it's right below number 1. Number 2. Find 3 to 5 employers. Okay? So you have a second node on your screen. You have that. In here, the second node should say find 3 to 5 employers. No, that's like that. So in the first node, you have 2 subnodes. One is called calling, and one is called destiny. Okay? Destiny. It says find 3 to 5 employers. Now, what would we do here?
That you have on top, like file, edit, change, and extensions. I can't see it on.
You really might do some fun. I should.
What do you think we would do here?
Files in Windows Share View and
Right. So here we would have 3 to 5 subnodes. Right now we don't know the employer, but we would do that. We have the employers.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to close these. And then I'm going to create a third step.
Right.
Yep.
I missed one step. How did you get to
What?
What was that? How do you get to what?
I missed one step. The create plan. How did you get to that after screen? After
What?
creating plan?
After create.
What's the question, Dennis?
Oh, just a second.
She went to another screen. And outbound.
Okay, so everybody who doesn't have their thing looks like this.
What's the third step?
The third step is create the plan.
I missed the step where you type this.
Would you hit it?
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
No.
This one?
What you would do to get on their radar?
That's part of it. This is where you have your resume, cover letters.
You have to click on next one.
Click on the node and it's going to
Click on your node. Which one do you want?
Calendar.
This one?
Yeah, it is clicking.
Okay.
No, click on the mother, that one, the mother.
So then you want to.
Oh,
Is that what you want to do? Is that it? Okay.
That's what you said.
You have to click on this one. This one has the baby. You have
What?
You have to go on this one. You go on the main one, it's gonna have its baby.
Okay. So that's about as big as I can do it.
Okay. Oh, you made the line straight.
Save it when we're done.
Well, yeah, you should save it. Okay, so create the plan. So in creating the plan, what are the things that are going to be part of your plan? Your resume, you might have more than one version of your resume. Yeah.
What if we already, like, you take it and make it smaller?
You hit the ethic. You have to click on the cell that you want to expand on the note.
I clicked on that, and I'm trying to.
Well, watch. So watch up there. So first I click on create plan. So do you see it's got a blue thing around it? Now I hit the F key. And it disappears, right? Now I hit the F key again, and it comes back.
Okay, I'm trying to do the same meeting. Sorry.
Okay, Velvet, could you help Rachel? So you can't be in edit mode on the button. Huh? So,
I did something different.
aha. So usually when you do the right thing, it works. Okay, so what is the most common error in computers?
Operator.
The error code. The error code. Okay, so get out your composition books. Here's the most common error that you're going to run into with computers. Okay, write this down. Don't leave home without it. This is the, everybody ready? The ID 10T error. So write down ID 10T. Yeah. And what does that spell?
Idiot.
Right. Okay. So that is the most common computer error. If you find it isn't working, go back and figure out where did the wheels fall off the wagon. Okay. Okay, is everybody here? Okay. Now, you could have multiple copies of your resume. How would you add your resume? So let's click on the resume button and then hit A and come to the notepad. Click on the resume, then click on the A button, and your notepad will open. And you notice along the top, there's a thing that looks like a chain. So that's a link.
The A button is actually attachment.
Can you do that step over?
Well, so you're at resume. You click on resume, right? Now just push the A button, and your screen should change to that. Okay? Now, on the top row of buttons, the fourth one from the left looks like a chain, a couple links in a chain. Right? So click on that link on the chain. What happens?
You get a hyperlink.
You get a hyperlink. And what would that hyperlink be to?
Resume.
Yeah, your resume. So how do you get the hyperlink to your resume? Okay, so you would open another tab, go to Drive, and your resume should be stored in a folder in your Drive. There's a folder that you should have called Work or Employment, a subfolder called Resume.
You know, we do have a resume in there in our computer right now. How do we get that in?
Okay, so you go to Drive, go to the resume, you open it up, and then you select in your Omnibox the address to that resume. the whole thing, and then you right-click copy. Well, then you have to add one. Okay, before you leave, you will be creating a resume. We have a resume template on here for you to use. Okay, so Ed, do you have it? Okay, so you find the resume. So I'm opening the drive. And your resume, you should know the title of your resume. It should be something like your initials resume, or resume your initials and date.
Ed, if we have a resume and it's on file with job development, we have to send it to our email address.
Are you talking to me?
I'm sorry, Director.
Okay, what was your question? I stopped listening after Ed.
If we have a copy of our resume with job development, if we ask them.
No. Well, you should get that resume, but that's not the resume that we're going to use. Okay, we're going to use a better version. Okay, so what I put up on the screen is a sample of somebody's resume. So and in the drive, in one LTCLV, there's a template for a resume. But we're not doing that today, we're doing Mindmap. But if you find your resume to be any document that's up there, you find it, you you double click on it, or you click on it and you save it. So up in the Omni box, in here has the name of the file. So you select it, and the easiest way is just to click on it, double click, or whatever. And then you right click on it and you push copy. Then you go back to your proactive employment plan, you click on the link button, and you paste it in there. And then you hit save. So that's how easy it is to get your resume in there. Now, as we get more advanced, one of the things that we do is we go to the Google URL shortener. So instead of having that really long thing that looks like this, you have a short one. So Google has a URL shortener. So I'm going to demonstrate it up here. So you paste the URL in that box, you click shorten, and it comes up with a very short version of it. You hit Control C, you come back here, and I'll show you what a short one looks like. Okay, so this one up at the top is a shortened version of this. So later we'll go into URL shortening with the Google shortener app. As things like this you can write down on a little piece of paper for somebody. This is too long to write down. You'll make a mistake. 9 out of 10 times you'll make a mistake giving somebody a long URL like that or pasting it into something. Okay, so here you have now the third step is create the plan. Okay, let's talk about, now let's shrink this down. Okay, what is the fourth step? Okay.
Follow up.
Not follow up.
Research.
Yes, exactly. Work the plan.
Okay, the plan to get there.
Okay, so What did we learn? Well, here, yesterday it was you plan your work and you work your plan. So then you work the plan. And then we'll just add in right now the 5th step. So the 5th step is what? Follow up. Now, part of the plan, there's another step to the plan that I didn't put in. So I'm going to go back to the plan. Okay, so research is going to come under your employers. Okay, so if we went back to that, where that would be is you'd have in, say, employer number 1, you might have something called research. You might have things like this. So again, for your 3 to 5 employers, employer number 1 you might have a thing that says research. And in hiring policy, we have other things about employer number 1. Relocation. Let's say employer number 1 doesn't work near here. Let's say they're in Reno. So you might have something about relocation. But the idea is, for employer number 1, you have everything you need to know about employer 1 there.
What button was it to erase something again?
To erase? Are you in the notepad? Are you trying to erase a note or what?
I don't think I have it right under 3 to 5 employers. Besides your follow-up, work plan, and then research, but it's right next to follow-up, so I don't know if it's right.
Oh.
How come my line's
Yeah.
So you can just click on the node and hit delete. If you want to delete that node, or you can drag that node, click on the node, hold down your left mouse button, and drag it up into find 3 to 5 employers. Okay, now the other thing about create the plan, there's another task, and that's called a job. Because part of the thing, part of the proactive employment plan, the goal is to get you a career. But that career might not be ready the day you are ready for it. It might take some time. So let's say somebody wants to be a professional singer. That's what they really want to do. That's what they're committed to doing. But what do they do in the meantime? Okay, what do they do to pay their bills? They get a job, right. They get a job. So getting a job is okay if it's part of your employment plan, part of your career plan. So everybody who's an actor, virtually everybody who wants to be an actor, starts out as a non-actor. You know, some people's parents are actors, and they don't have to do anything. They just tell their parents, "Hey, this is what I want to do," and they open the doors for them. But most people, before they become actors, are non-actors, and they have to break into the business, right? Have you heard that term, break in? Yes, they have to break into the business. And while they're waiting, or while they're trying to break in, what do they have to do to pay the bills? They have to do something. It's either something legitimate or something not legitimate. Okay, something legal or something not legal. And so part of our employment plan is you go get a job. It's perfectly okay, it's perfectly kosher, as long as it's part of your proactive employment plan. When you settle for a job is when it gets bad, because that's when you go from being a person to a wage slave. That's where you give up 5 days a week doing something you don't want to do, so you have a little bit of freedom on weekends. That's where when you get older and you want to retire and you look back over your life, you have regret because you didn't do anything with your life. You didn't pursue your dreams. You didn't pursue your passion. But, and you also are known as a sheeple. Okay? You're not in control of your life anymore. Somebody else controls your life. It's not a good place to be. You don't want to be in that position. However, it's perfectly okay if it's part of your proactive employment plan. And if we did the math on this, if you have 3 to 5 employers that you're working, and these should be good companies, and that means they should be hiring people within the next year. So if you have 3 to 5 companies, how long should you have to wait before one of those people is hiring? No, if there's 3 to 5. If each one of them is going to be hiring people within a year.
Within a year.
Yeah, so statistically it might be 3 months. Maybe one of them today is saying, you know what, we need to hire people, go put an ad on Monster. The last part of the proactive employment plan, just to wrap that up, is on the proactive employment plan, you don't wait until that employer says we're hiring. Because if you wait till the employer says we're hiring, who are you competing with? 1 million people. If you go to the employer before they place the ad in the paper, if you get on their radar screen, if you interview with them before they put the ad on the paper, you're not competing with 1 million people. And if you let them know part of your career plan is you really want to work there, if they like you, they'll say, well, you know, what do you want to do? Well, we don't have that position right now, but we have this position. And when that position opens up, you can have it. An example of that is Stations Casinos. Right now, they don't hire people for full-time jobs, or what do they call them, Phyllis? They hire people for, no, they call it something else where you don't have a set schedule. On call. They hire for on call. Extra board, I think it's Stations they call on call, whatever. But that's what they hire for, and they say, you know what, we give priority to the people who've already been here for the permanent jobs. Well, if for some reason you really wanted to work at Stations Casino, that's one of your 3 to 5 employers, and they say, well, we don't have position of president open right now, but we have dishwasher. If you're down to looking for a job, your choice is, I've got to have a job. Why not take a job there? Right? It's not your career. You want to be the manager of the restaurant, but you're not employed. You're not in your career, you're in your calling or destiny position. They say, well, we have this job opened up. You should say, well, I could work at, I don't know, a pizza parlor, 7-Eleven, gas station, whatever, at this bar. Or I could get inside of Stations Casinos, really want to be the manager. You're not going to hurt yourself if you have talent by taking a low job. You're not going to hurt yourself.
The way of putting your foot into the door to show that you're.
Yeah, it's an opportunity. So a lot of people, we've had people here say, well, I applied for this job at Stations Casinos. They told me they had this other job. I don't want to sell out, so I'm not going to take the job. Okay, that's not really a good strategy, because if you have talent, they're going to want to promote you anyway. It's just a thing good companies do. People that have talent, they give them more responsibility. They don't say, wow, this guy could be the manager, but he's washing dishes. Let's keep him as the dishwasher because it's going to cost us less money. People don't do that in the real world. Good employers don't do that. Now, there's bad employers that take talented people and they don't give them an opportunity. So a lot of things like telemarketing, places that'll hire anybody, you don't have an opportunity for advancement. But that company shouldn't be on your proactive employment plan. It should be good companies, companies that you'd want to go to because you're going to learn or something. You're going to have be there for the rest of your life. So, so on create plan, one of the subnodes should be, the last one under other documents should be job. And this is something you get to pay the bills. And if you were an entertainer, you're an actor, you're a musician, you're something, you're waiting for your break, trying to break into the business, while you're waiting, it's perfectly acceptable to have a job, something to pay the bills. And that should just be part of your plan. And when you go to a restaurant and the person serving you wants to be an actor, and if you see them out on the street and you say to them, what do you do? What do you think they say, Zach?
I'm just an actor.
They say they're an actor. Oh, really? What do you act? Well, I work at Hank's Fish Seafood place right now, but I am really an actor. I'm just waiting for my next opportunity. Or I'm really an artist. I'm a sculptor. I'm a painter. I'm just doing this right now because I need money to pay my bills. That is perfectly acceptable. People have done that since there were things called jobs. It's when you give up your freedom and do things for money that you don't want to do, and you stop looking for something better, you stop pursuing your career, your passion, that's when you're doing the wrong thing.
College kids do it all the time. They pay their bills all the time.
Yeah, exactly. That's very common. Okay, so let's look at our thing. And then lastly, follow-up is just follow-up. So you should expect, you get on the radar screen, you get an interview, you're interviewed, they say not interested right now, what should you not do? Give up. Yeah, you shouldn't give up. So at Hero School, they say, thank you, and can you tell me why you didn't hire me? Before you let go of the person's hand, you're shaking hands, okay, thank you, by the way, what could I have done differently? And they might tell you. And then that gives you the opportunity to come back later. Well, you don't really know and you can't type well enough. Okay, great. I'm going to go and learn how to type and I'll be back. If I come back, what do you think? And then you ask them and then you let go of their hand when you get the answer. Because that way they know you're committed. You're holding somebody's hand and you say, what could I have done better? And you don't let go. Now think about if you say, okay, thank you, nice to meet you, what could I have done better? They don't know if you're really serious, but if you're holding on to somebody's hand, they know you're very serious. And they're going to answer you. Now it's a little bit uncomfortable to do that, but it's also uncomfortable for that person. And if you were persuasive when you said, this is one of the three companies, I'm looking at 3 to 5 companies, however many you're looking at, you say, I'm looking at 3 companies. You're one of the 3 companies I want to work for. And they say, well, why do you want to work for us? And you did your research. So you can tell them why you want to work for them. You know the company better or as well as that interviewer knows the company. When you say, that's why I want to work there, what could I have done better? Okay, I'm going to go back and do it. They will, if you were believable, they will believe you.
If they ask you to let go of their hand, do it.
Yeah, but if they, okay, so that's a good point. If they ask you to let go of your hand, cross that place off your list because you'll never get a job there. They're going to put you down weirdo. They're going to write that on your resume. No, under any circumstances, no. All employers are looking for good people. It's like Tony Robbins said this morning on the TED Talk. You know, you learn the rules of the game, you do this, you know, smart people, you guys didn't hear it, but at the very beginning, when he was talking about the audience he was talking to, he said it's a science. You just learn the rules of the game, you follow the rules, you do this, you up the ante, and it's going to be successful. All good employers are looking for good people. If you demonstrate you're a good people, you fit in the category of good people, then you're going to get the job. Now, it's break time, so we're going to have to go, Dennis. Any quick questions?
Any questions? No questions?
Save your document.
Okay. Okay, on the second, Joe has a question.
Tomorrow tomorrow we're gonna do collaboration.
Okay, he was saying bye. All right, we'll see you, Ed.
Joe, so I guess we're gonna communicate regarding the iron yard.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, good.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, everyone.